Okay, my friends, here's our lesson for today. I've uploaded this to Seesaw. And if we look at the, whoops. We look at the bottom of the page, we will see that we're going to study commutative property to find known facts for 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so let me just get rid of those marks I put on there. So this is what we call a multiplication table. And these things here on the edge, I'm going to highlight, these are your factors in gray. Okay, and then throughout the center are going to be your products. So remember, our factors are what we multiply to get our answers or our products. So the way the multiplication table works, I'm going to write my numbers in here, is I would go 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 times 2 equals 2. 1 times 3 equals 3. 1 times 4 equals 4. And 1 times 5 equals 5. And so your numbers go across like this. So in the one line that you see right here, you're counting by one. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now the cool thing about the multiplication table, because the commutative property, we also have those same numbers going down the one column. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's the way the multiplication table works. Now, if we look at our second row, we're multiplying by twos. So I would say 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. And so that goes in there. And now you start to get the idea that the row of twos will be skip counting by twos. So after 8 comes 10, and then 12, and then 14, and then 16, and then 18, and then 20. Again, because the commutative property, we can also go down this column here and skip count by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And then the thing I had the kids do next was their tens. So I came all the way down here to my tens. 10 times 1 is 10, 10 times 2 is 20, 10 times 3 is 30. You get the idea. So each row is skip counting by that factor. And here our factor is 10. So after 60 it becomes 70, 80, 90, 100. And then this row would also be tens. You can see some of them are filled in for you. All right. So your goal, and the fives will be easy. Here will be your fives and your fives. Now let's say you don't know some of them. So you're going to fill in your sevens, and you see 7, 14. So this is our 7 row. And then you think, what comes next? We'll add 7 to 14. And if you add 7 to 14, you get 21. You're skip counting by 7. So add 7 again. 21 plus 7 is 28. So that's how you can do it when you get to the more difficult ones. So your job today is to fill in this entire multiplication table. Remember, these are the factors on the outside, and the inside are all the products. Okay. Now let's go to the next part, and let me undo everything we've done. Let's see, undo. I don't know if I can undo the whole thing. Clear. There we go. All right, here we go. So sorry, guys, it's been a while since I've done these calls. All right, the next one is a chart, and we've been doing a lot of these. So this is a chart where each bag contains 7 apples. So that's really important. So if you have, this is your number of bags and this is your number of apples. If you have 2 bags, your number of apples would be 7, 14. Now we can use skip counting to help us when we're trying to find one of our factors as well. If you have 21 apples in the next one, then you can skip count 7, 14, 21, and that gives you 3 bags. So I would like you to finish filling out that, filling out what I did, and then finish filling out that chart. And then the next one, you have to use an array to write use the array to write 2 different multiplication sentences. One thing that is really important to know is the equal sign is right here. So it's a little bit backwards. You're going to put your product first. And remember to be sure to skip count your array to get your answer. So again, you're using 2 different multiplication sentences to describe that array. The factors will switch places. Okay, next, let's see. This part was a little tricky. So we were doing a lot of unit form. So I'm going to do some of the trickier ones for you, so you can always fill those in on your sheet. So 2 7s is the same as 7 2s. So we'd put 7 2s in there. And 7 2s is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Remember, you can skip count to find 7 2s. All right. I'm going to let you do the next one on your own, the next couple. If we go down a little further, let's try this one, F. Okay. When you get to D and E, they're just numbers. They're not unit form anymore. You're just using the factors. So those should be pretty easy for you. But when we get to F right here, we've got blank times 7 equals 7 times blank. Okay. We know the total is 28. So the only thing we can do to figure that out then is to skip count by 7s because we know that one factor is 7. So if we skip count 7, 14, 21, 28. How many is that? That's 4. So we put 4 times 7 equals 7 times 4, and that equals 28. And you can see how we counted 1, 2, 3, 4 7s. All right, I'm going to clear that. So remember, you can keep going back and forth between the YouTube video and your worksheet too. So that can help you fill it out. All right. Let's see, these get a little tricky. So I'm going to do several of them with you. The first one says 3 times 9 equals 10 3s minus how many 3s? Well, 3 times 9 is really the same as 9 3s. And 9 3s is the same as taking 10 3s. If we have 10 3s and we take away 1 3, then we have 9 3s. So 3 times 9 is 9 3s. 9 3s is 10 3s minus 1 3. And what is 3 9s? Well, 3 9s is 27. The reason they wanted you to do it this way is they could say 10 3s is 30 and 1 3 is 3. So if you take 30 and you subtract 3, what do you get? You get 27. So they wanted you to use an easier fact. All right. If we look at the next one, it's 10 4s minus 1 4. Well, that's easy. 10 apples minus 1 apple gives you 9 apples. 10 4 minus 1 4 gives you 9 4s. And how do we write 9 4s? As a fact, we write 9 times 4. And I'm going to let you find that product on your own. Okay, let's go a little further. Okay, the next one. Again, you just have to be able to go back and forth between fact form and unit form. So if 8 times 4 equals 5 4s plus how many 4s? Well, 8 times 4 is really what? It's 8 4s. So on this side of the equation, we have 8 4s. On this side of the equation, we also have to have 8 4s. We got 8 4s here. We need 8 4s over here. Well, if we have 5 4s, how many 4s do you add to 5 4s to get 8 4s? You add 3 4s. And then what is 5 4s plus 3 4s? Well, it's the same as 8 4s. So you can skip count by 4 8 times. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Sorry, I didn't get 8 4s. So your answer is 32. All right. So you kind of get the idea. If it has a multiplication sign like this one, it wants the factors. If it has this, it wants the unit form. The last one, you can decide how to do it. You can split 10 2s up in 2s however you want. Okay. And then let's see. All right. And then I would like you to do this exit ticket. I'm going to have you do that independently. I'll read through it with you though. It says use the array to write 2 different multiplication facts. So here's your array. Again, they're putting the product first. I think they just want you to become flexible in your thinking. So it doesn't always have to be factor times factor equals product. It can be product equals factor times factor. So just make sure you pay special attention to that. Use your array, skip count it, find your factors, find your product. And then on number 2, I want you to use your own thinking. It says, Karen says, if I know 3 times 8 equals 24, then I know the answer to 8 times 3. You have to explain how it's true. You can draw arrays for that. There's a couple different ways you can do it. An array might be the easiest way for you. But really, if you look at our learning target at the bottom of the page, what we're learning is all about the commutative property. So there's a big old hint. The real reason it's true is because we know from the commutative property that 3 times 8 equals 8 times 3. They both come to the same amount. Okay. All right, guys, I hope that you find that helpful, I'm going to stop my recording now and stop my sharing and upload that for you to do